Yeah, we can
Okay,
hear you.
thanks, guys. Okay, thanks.
Okay, we're recording.
We're recording. All right. So this is the September 15th meeting of the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission. Remote link up through Google. First start with the call to order and the Pledge of Allegiance. Everyone will join me. Start the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance
To the flag
of the United States of
America,
America,
and
and to the republic
for which it
for which it
stands,
stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm just going to ask if anyone has logged on, if unless you have a speaking role, if you can keep your microphones muted, just so we don't get any extra feedback during the meeting. Why don't we start with the roll call? We'll do it like we usually do in person.
Josh Dykstra.
Pizza Brass.
John Kerwin,
Pat Coparella.
Dan Wall.
Brett Olbreeze.
Jesse Schremer.
Jessica Pennell.
is Steve there?
I don't think he logged in yet.
All right. So is he planning on attending or?
Yeah, he said he might be a little late, but he wasn't exactly sure. So, and Mary Lepresti is not going to be here tonight.
All right, we'll move on to, while we're waiting for Steve, we'll move on to seating of alternates. Dave is still not here. He's absent. So we'll seat Josh in the interim. Moving on to the next matter, public hearings. No recess public hearings. We have a new public hearing. That's item B1. Pat, if you want to read in, I think the application has to be, or the
Legal notice.
legal notice, yeah.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yep, you're coming through clear.
Okay. Town of Oxford legal notice public hearing. The Planning and Zoning Commission of the Town of Oxford, Connecticut will hold a public hearing on Tuesday, September 15th, 2020 at 7:30 p.m. on the following application. Z-20-034-312 Chestnut Tree Hill Road, owner estate of Serge Mahaley Sr., applicant Matthew Mahaley, 111 Booth Hill Road, Trumbull, Connecticut, re-subdivision of Lot 2. At the meeting, interested persons may be heard and written correspondence will be received. Please submit written correspondence to Planning and Zoning, Oxford, Connecticut. A copy of the proposal will be posted online at least 24 hours before the meeting. Information to join this meeting, meeting ID, and then there's the Google thing. Dated at Oxford, Connecticut, this 26th day of August, 2020.
And I believe there's some correspondence, right?
We have correspondence. These, I believe, were already written, and let me look at it here a second.
It looks new. The
Yeah.
Conservation Commission is August 28th, so.
Yeah, we have August 28th from the Conservation Commission on Wetlands to Chairman Planning and Zoning. Dear Chairperson, as you may know, the Inland Wetlands Commission wears two hats. The second is the Conservation Commission. Our primary directive by state mandate is to advise the Zoning Commission on decisions about development and subdividing. Most importantly, open space acquisition and fees in lieu of. I thank you in advance, and it's signed Supercell Givens. Then I also have from the Conservation Commission to Chairman of Planning and Zoning, dear Chairperson and Commissioners, after a full review of the subdivision layout for 312 Chestnut Tree Hill Road, the Commission makes this recommendation to the Zoning Board. The lot layout does not have any location for open space. The commission agrees with this. We do not believe in the taking of land at this location has any great benefit. The state of Connecticut has open forest land across Old Litchfield Road. Oxford zoning does allow for the receiving monetary funds in lieu of land. The Conservation Commission is unanimously in favor of this. We do not recommend a waiver of open space donations. As you may know, these funds are used to purchase larger parcels of land for open space. These funds are critical in helping add open space land. These purchases help keep taxes low by preventing other residential development. Purchasing open space helps retain Oxford's rural character. Thank you in advance for the direction of the commission, Denise Randall. Then I have something from March 19th. Does this concern this subdivision or the previous application?
Yes, this is dated March 19th, right? But it was just,
Okay.
it's received August 12th, but
You guys remember the last application?
yeah.
Jim got this as a new one and he wrote this. This letter is the same, I think, as but then he wrote the revised one also. So he just basically took the letter from the previous application and this applies to this application. And then the letter after it is the letter after he looked at the revised plans from the 2-lot re-subdivision.
Okay.
Not the 4-lot.
Okay.
Complicated, but
okay.
that's
I'll read them both then. Dear Mr. Souter, Navison Young Engineers is in receipt of revised plans for the above referenced site. The applicant has reduced the project from 4-lot subdivision to 2-lot subdivision. One of the lots is the existing homestead on Chestnut Tree Hill. Access to the second lot is proposed from Old Litchfield Turnpike. We offer the following. 1, cross pitch the driveway on lot 2 so as to drain towards the proposed rain garden. 2, clarify the limits of disturbance on lot 2. 3, clarify the location of the silt fencing on lot 2. 4, please provide grading for the proposed septic system. 5, delete the road section detail. 6, please provide driveway detail, check dam detail, and riprap detail. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. And signed, Jim Galligan. Then I have from Jim Galligan, dear Mr. Souter, Navison Young Engineers is in receipt of the revised plan for the above referenced site. All of the comments in our letter dated August 5th, 2020 have been addressed. We have no further comment. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Signed, James Gallagher. Then I have from Matthew Mahaley, dear Mr. Souter, section 1.2.10 of the Oxford subdivision regulations allows the commission to waive the requirements for dedication of open space or payment in fee in lieu for a subdivision and re-subdivision consisting of 3 lots or less. I am asking that you waive the fee as allowed by this section as the application is for 2 lots. One of those lots already has an existing structure on it. Both lots will consist of roughly 4 acres, which is twice the minimum lot size. Across the street from Old Litchfield Turnpike, on which both lots border, is the Naugatuck State Forest, consisting of thousands of acres of open space. The re-subdivision with the oversized lots maintains the rural character of the neighborhood without the need for dedicating new open space. The reduction in the number of lots from the previous application also reduces the potential sale proceeds and thus the funds to pay the fee in lieu of open space. And signed, Matthew Mahaley. And that's what I have.
Okay, so I think at this point we can open it up to the applicant if he wants to address us. I think he's here. And then we can open it up to the members of the commission if they have any questions and the members of the public.
Yeah, this is Matthew Mahaley. I don't really have much to add. I mean, I think that the map speaks for itself, and Mr. Galligan's report, I think we've satisfied everything to comply with the regulations for the subdivision. If there's any questions, I'm happy to take them.
Okay, you don't have any anything else?
No.
Now's okay. We'll open it up first to the members of the commission. Anyone have any comments or questions?
Vice Chairman.
Who's that? Is
Brett
that
Olbrich.
Brett? Brett? Yes,
Yeah.
Brett.
Just had a quick question. I drove by the lot recently, and there's a for sale sign, I believe, on the property.
The house is listed, yes.
So it's just the house. You're not already trying to sell potential subdivision of the lot already, like with the intention that it's going to be subdivided.
The house is listed, correct. And is it-
Okay.
Anything else? Any other for the commissioners?
Yeah, I got a question, John. Mr. Vice Chair, Pete Sabras. I was curious on why you were looking for a waiver on the fees, on the open space fees.
Because it's allowed, and then, you know, if I don't have to pay it, you know, prefer not to, but you know, it's allowed by your regulations, you know, and again, you know, I took into consideration some of the public comments the last time. You know, these are oversized lots. You know, it's allowed, and you know, neighbors were concerned about the rural character. I'm keeping, you know, the historic commission, you know, asked that if the barn and the house could be kept together. You know, this accomplishes that, and you know, it's you know, that's it.
All right, thank you.
All right. Thank you, Pete. Any other commissioners? Questions or comments?
Nothing here.
That was Dan, right?
Yeah, nothing. No, I'm good now.
All right.
Josh, none. I have none at this time.
Okay. Is there anyone in the public that wishes to address the commission regarding this application? All right. Can I ask again, just to make sure, anyone from the public that wishes to address the commission or ask any questions of the applicant regarding this application? And
Hey, John.
yes, Brett.
Quick question. Do we have to reserve the right to ask questions at a future meeting of the applicant, or is it only tonight where questions can be asked?
We can, if we close the hearing, we basically have that's our only opportunity during the hearing. We don't have to close the hearing right away if there's anything. I haven't had a chance to actually, I was going to go down to the town hall and look at the map because I can't read it at the resolution.
I have a question. Hi, I have a question.
Yes.
I'm Norman Planky, and I live.
Mr. Planky, if you can just hold on a second, and I'll let you ask questions. I think Commissioner Olbrich was in the middle of discussions about Brett. Were you finished with your questions, or?
It was just more about if tonight was going to be the only night where we could ask the applicant questions. But I think you answered it. If we close the hearing, then essentially we're not able to ask any further questions. So thank you.
Yeah. All right. All right. I'm sorry, Mr. Planky, for cutting you off. I just wanted to make sure that the other commissioners had an opportunity to follow up. Mr. Planky, why don't you give us your name and your address for the record?
Yeah, my name is Norman Planky, and I live at 69 Old Litchfield Turnpike.
Is that in Oxford?
Yep. And as I understand it, there's a lot at the end of Old Litchfield Turnpike would be zoned residential only.
Is that a question for the applicant?
Well, yeah, and the commission. I mean, if someone were to buy the property and then begin to operate their own little business out of there, I'd like to know about that beforehand.
I'm not asking for a zone change. I'm just asking for a subdivision.
Okay, and I believe, and Jess, you can back me up on this. The application indicates that the property is in a residential zone.
Yes.
Does that answer your question, Mr. Planky?
Yes, thank you.
Okay. Any other questions from any of the audience or any of the commission?
Mr. Chairman, Coach Roll here.
Yes, Pat.
Are we going to be discussing the fee or the fee in lieu of at this time?
Well, I think first we have to close the hearing and then move to deliberations. So,
All right, so it would be next time. Okay,
yeah,
that's
I know
all.
I haven't. Okay.
Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Any further questions or comments?
Mr. Vice Chair, question.
Yes, Mr. Oldrees.
Did you intend to go down to town hall to look into your questions before we entertain a motion to close the public hearing?
If we did in fact not close the public hearing, then I was going to go just for my own edification to look it over. I did look at the documents, and I don't really have any questions, but it wouldn't be necessary if somebody made a motion to close the public hearing tonight. So I don't know if maybe I could canvass the commission. Does anybody see the need to keep this open or have the desire? Just kind of a,
Pat Coach
would
Roll,
ask-
closing it.
Sorry.
pardon me, Pat?
I'm out. I'm okay with closing it.
Okay,
Mr. Vice
well,
Chair,
yes, Brett?
I would ask, what is your thoughts about your intention of going down to town hall? Is it such as a pressing matter that you think you'd like
No.
to close the hearing? Okay.
No, I if I had the time, I'd take a look at the subdivision drawings, but at this point, I don't really, I did have an opportunity to look at them. There was some details that I couldn't see, but I don't think it would really raise any questions. So no, it wasn't that pressing. If we do intend, and that's why I wanted to kind of get a read on what the commission was thinking. If we do intend to close the public hearing, we may wish to, maybe bat around a little bit in this public hearing forum, what our feelings are about the request for the waiver and whether we're going to entertain that. Obviously, we would have to discuss it further during deliberations, but I don't know if there's anything that would come out that might impact the public as well with respect to the applicant's request to waive the open space fee. I don't know if anyone wants to,
I would ask,
their opinion.
Mr. Vice Chair,
Yes, Brett.
I would ask the applicant to cite precedent where we've waived open fees before.
I don't. Can you hear me? Can everyone hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you, sir.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know of precedent. I haven't researched that, but it is allowed by your subdivision regulations, which was a copy of was supplied to me. I mean, it's allowed by your regulation. So if you wish me to find precedent, I'll look. But obviously, I'd prefer the public hearing be closed and you deliberate. So
Pat Coach here, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, Pat. Vice
Considering,
Chair, by the way, you can call me just John.
What's the situation right now is there's only a single lot being added. It's it's well under what we would consider a subdivision, and given the applicant's reduction in the number of lots and the accommodations he made in the Historical Society and the like, I think for the minimal amount we gained from that one lot, because we can't charge him for the existing lot, so it would only be the additional lot. I think that we could waive that fee. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I was kind of on the same page with you, and I just wanted to get that out there for the public hearing. I think obviously we'll have to, those are the type of arguments that we'll make during deliberations. But we do have the commission or the Wetlands Commission's letter and comments read into the record. With that being said, if there's anyone from the public or any of the other commissioners that want to comment during the public hearing, and then we can close this. We can close this up, and at the next meeting we can deliberate and discuss those arguments. And I tend to agree with you, Pat. I think that you know, in lowering the number of lots, you know, this has kind of addressed some of the issues that were brought up. The need for open space here. We've gone from four lots with the attendant impact on the town for that, you know, 4 lots down to 2. So I think that, you know, the town has gotten at least some benefit. Whether we, you know, I don't know if we need to actually charge them again with the request for the open space fee. You know, we've gotten the benefit of a reduced number of lots. So I think I agree with you, Pat, but we can take that up during the deliberations.
Yeah, John, this is Dan. Well, I agree with what Pat
Yeah,
said. I agree with Pat, and I'm also good with closing the public hearing tonight too.
Okay. Well, that being said, and just make sure that there's no one again from the public that wants to comment. No comments. Can I have a motion to close the public hearing?
So moved. This is Dan. So moved.
Second, Pat Cozzarella.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
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 All right. Any opposed? All right. Hearing no opposition, unanimously approved. Jess, did we do that right?
Yep.
All right. Good.
Sounds good to me.
So we'll put it down for deliberations for the next meeting.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So I think that was our only public hearing. Let's see. Future public hearings, regular meeting business, amendments to the agenda. Do we have any amendments?
I don't have any on this end.
Okay. Audience of citizens. So if there's anyone from the public that wishes to address the commission on items that are not listed on the agenda, now is your opportunity. And I'll open up the forum and ask if there is anyone from the public who would like to address us. Going once. Any of the members of the public that would like to address us going twice? 3 times, we can close that. All right, correspondence. Pat, that's right up your alley.
We have one piece of correspondence from the town of Monroe. It's an adjacent municipality referral notice. They're making some changes to their zoning regulations, and you know, they're required by law to notify the town, the adjoining towns. I'm not going to read the details. They'll be at the office if someone wants to read them. But there's, you know, map zoning boundary changes and all sorts of stuff in here that they're going to be doing. So
yeah, it's pretty detailed. I don't think we need
No.
it read. It is it's going to be in there. You know, if any of the members of the public are interested, they can look online, or they can go to Monroe as well and check out those documents. All right, next, let's see. Old business matters on which a public hearing was held. Let's see, we don't have any old business or any deliberation matters. Other matters, the bond release. That was the Haynes Construction Company. There's a letter from Jim Galligan regarding Meadowbrook Estates.
Pat's reading it, but he's on mute.
Pat, you're on mute.
Mute.
How about now?
Now that's good.
Dear Mr. Souter, Navis and Young Engineers is in receipt of a request for release of a performance bond in the amount of $300,000 for the above referenced project. This project is still active as several units have not closed. Navis and Young Engineers recommends that the performance bond for this project, 400 KF6036, be maintained for 1 year after the last closing. If you should have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Signed, James Galligan.
Now,
I have another one here from Oxford Supply. Dear Mr. Souter, no, excuse me, from Navis and Young referencing Oxford Supply. Dear Mr. Souter, Navis and Young Engineers in receipt of a request for release of performance bond in the amount of $950,000 for the above referenced project. No activity has occurred on the site in over 20 years. There is no need to continue the performance bond. Therefore, Navis and Young Engineers recommends that the Oxford Planning and Zoning Commission forward this bond release request 104953452 to the Board of Selectmen. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me. Signed, James Galligan.
right now, I just had a question with regard to the first matter, the Meadowbrook Estates. If we don't move to release or to recommend to the Board of Selectmen to release the bond, Jess, do we do anything, or we just table it for the year?
I would say what I'll do is I'll send them a letter stating, with Jim's letter attached, and then tell them when they're ready, after they do their last closing, then to come back and request it again.
Okay, and we don't need to take any action.
I don't think so. I mean, but
Yeah,
if you want to say we want Jessica to send a letter, with this attachment, you can do that. But otherwise, that's what I'm going to do anyway. So
yeah, I think it's good enough for the record that we have that. The only action that we would really have to take is to have a motion to ask the Board of Selectmen to release it. So without that request from Navis and Young, there's no action that, I think
Right.
your statement on the record is enough.
Okay.
All right. As it relates to the second matter, the Oxford Supply performance bond 104953452. Does anybody have any comments on that, or?
I'm just quick question. What is Oxford Supply?
I imagine it looks like it's 20 years old, so it was probably a developer back then that had an applicant or had a permit to do something that they didn't follow through with. It might be the old Oxford building, but
Okay.
I'm trying to think. I know it's in the industrial zone, and I do know that Jim did, because of the amount, Jim did talk to Kevin about this to make sure that there was, no, they didn't do it formally and, with letters, but Jim did talk to Kevin about it before he sent this letter to us.
yeah. And I know based on statute, if the developer does not follow through with the project after 5 years, they're basically, and I think there's an opportunity to extend it, but after 20 years, they would have lost any use or ability to follow through with the project. The permit would have expired. So with that, any other comments on it? I can ask for a motion to forward this to the Board of Selectmen with a
I'll make that.
recommendation to release.
So moved.
Pizza Brass.
Seconds?
A second.
right.
Who seconded that?
Pat did.
All right, is that's just some an open microphone somewhere?
Yeah.
It's not someone trying to address this, all right. So, all in favor of making a recommendation to the Board of Selectmen to approve the release of bond 104953452? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, the motion is granted. That's all we have to do with that, right, Jess?
Yep.
All right. Let's see. New business, there's no public hearings to schedule?
Nope.
Zoning enforcement? I don't think Steve ever came. Steve, are you
Nope.
there?
He did. He did come
I
on.
am. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so hello everybody. Moose Hill Road, there's a subdivision going on, and it expired in 2019, and he wants his bond back. And I think he's going to give the town part of the property. I'm not sure, but all the deeds were filed for the easements for the town, the sewer, the power, the electric. Everything's done, and he's asking to get his bond money back. So should we give that to legal counsel, or is it something that we do? The subdivision expired in 2019. He doesn't want to renew it or come in for another one. But all the deeds have been recorded and everything in 2015. So there's language there where it says that we own the road and it's going to be deeded to us and et cetera, et cetera. So I'm not too sure how you guys want to handle this. You want me to give it to Kevin Condon or Peter Olson, or?
Well, Steve, the first thing, he has to actually make a request, and then it was
Okay.
So without a written request or something on file, I think it first would go to Attorney Condon.
Okay. I figured that. I was just checking if you wanted how you wanted to go about it.
Yeah, we need a formal request first, though. Pat, did you have something, or?
Yes. Is this that small subdivision that we'd spoken about 6 months ago or so?
Yes. Yes.
Is
You and I.
And
Yeah.
we were talking about, like, has anything been done there, or any of those lots sold?
Correct.
You know, that was the questions we had. You know, is the road done?
Right.
Is the lot sold, and so on and so forth? Do we have answers?
Nothing's been done. There's no trees cut or nothing. It's just raw property.
Okay, so it's still raw land.
Yes.
Okay.
So I'll call the applicant and get a letter of intent, and then we'll go from there.
That makes sense, I think.
Okay.
And Steve, you have the floor. Anything else?
So I have a lot of people putting up sheds, pools with no permits over the setbacks because they're being told they don't need a permit for a shed. And you don't need a building permit for under 200 square, but you need planning, zoning, inlands, wetlands, and health district. So they're calling town hall and someone is telling them you don't need a permit. So they're popping these things up everywhere because they're under 200 square feet. As I said, there's no building permit required. It's becoming a huge problem. I've been on it with Mike Hurd a few times, and and we're asking, well, who did you call? Well, we called the town hall and spoke to someone, but that doesn't cut it. And it doesn't matter because it's already done. So we're trying to address that. We changed our website, stating you do need a zoning permit for a shed under 200 square feet, health district, and wetlands. We don't want them putting their shed on top of the septic systems or in the setback lines. So it's becoming an issue.
Do like sheds and pools and all that stuff come before us, or is that just something that's handled within?
No,
the
that's
office?
something, Commissioner, we do in house, and they come in, we get a map. We have 90% of the people that come in, we have a property map of their property, and we look at it and tell them where to put it. after it's up, they're supposed to come in for a CO, which I charge them $85, and then I go out and I look at it and make sure it's in the spot they said they were going to put it, and it's not encroaching. But it's becoming a problem.
Yeah, well, the only bright side is if they don't have to get the building permit, that means that it doesn't. My understanding is it doesn't have to be on, or it's not on a foundation. If you just have it on gravel, you don't need a building permit, right?
I don't know, Vice Chair. It says no building permit required for 200 square feet or under. So I don't know what happens if you put it on a foundation or not. It doesn't specify in that statute.
Yeah.
You know, but we had one guy put one right on top of his septic tank on Bonnie Lane. Well,
hopefully, if it's small enough, it's not a big issue to move them. So that's
right.
Maybe the one bright side,
Right.
And then if you are digging a foundation over your septic tank, you're going to learn
Right.
the hard way that that's a problem.
Well,
Right.
Mr. Chairman, I would think that if these were sheds like that were the prefab things like from Home Depot or the Barnyard that are brought in on a truck and set down, not stick built on site, that if they're in the setback, we probably should request they be moved.
Yeah, and I think they're easy enough to move.
Yes.
You can do it with a 2-ton come-along that you can buy at Home Depot and just drag it.
Yep. I have done that. I have done that on one already. The neighbor, I'm like, you can blatantly see it's well over the setbacks line. The property corners are well marked. The guy actually got his pickup truck and put a chain around it and moved it.
Yeah.
That's what he did. It was only 6 or 7 feet, but he moved it, so that was good.
Yeah. Well, just start giving out notices that
Yep.
and we'll go from there.
That's
And
never ending. Give them out.
The pool season is definitely over, so that shouldn't be a problem in the next couple of months.
Right. Does anybody have any questions for me? Or feel free to call or email. It's fine.
I just had one question.
Sure, Brett.
At a previous meeting, you had mentioned that there was going to be an issue related to somebody's animal control issue. I think there was you had mentioned something about an animal issue
I
where
did.
somebody was.
And
whatever happened with that?
He got his 25 dogs neutered. He got rid of 10 of them, and he's getting rid of more of them. But we had the state police out there, local police, K9 out there. It was awful. He's well into Little Punk up, like all the way down that dirt road. I don't know if you've ever been there. He's way off the beaten path, but these are hound dogs and they're loud. So, I told him he's running a boarding school and selling for profit, which is not allowed by our regulations. It's commercial business residential zone. K9 officer got him for having so many animals not neutered. So it was a mess, but we're working on it. It's coming a long way.
All right, so you're on top of it?
Yeah, we got it. He had a bunch of junk in the road, like trailers. He had 2 or 3 containers, just stuff. I just said, you got to get rid of this stuff. So he did. He's doing anything we ask because he has no place else to go. So I don't anticipate, an issue.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right,
that's
it,
good.
Steve?
I'm good. What's
right.
that?
That's it?
Yeah, if you guys have any questions, just feel free to call or email. I have no problem,
All righty.
Okay, John, thank you.
Yeah. All right, zoning regulation subcommittee, that's been placed on an indefinite hold. So we'll just move on. Minutes. I just saw an email come through. So I saw the July 7th, but the September 1st.
So the September 1st, I did not start hitting record at the beginning of the meeting. So bringing everything back and forth, I wanted to make sure that I had the right votes, because I did catch some conversation and I wasn't sure if Pat voted for or against for that motion for New Haven Rowing Club. And I just wanted to make sure that I have the proper vote before I file it with the town clerk.
All right,
I voted in the negative for the denial.
Okay, that's what I thought, but because I didn't have that beginning of that recording, I just wanted to make sure.
yeah, and I can just say for the record, I did see the recording sign come on. So we did, that's why I kind of went through a summary of what we were doing.
Okay.
But do we have those now to review, or we'll do that for those minutes we can approve next meeting, right?
You can approve them next week. You have them.
Yeah.
I didn't spell check them or anything. I just wanted to make sure that because it was that application,
Yeah.
I wanted to make sure that I'd had the proper votes.
All right. I know we do have the July 7th, and I read through them, so I think we're all set. Do we have
I move to approve the minutes for 7/7/2020, the regular meeting minutes as presented.
Second.
all right, all in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, the motion carries. The 9/1 minutes we'll do the next meeting. And moving on, invoices. There's one invoice.
I have one invoice from Navis and Young for 312 Justice Tree Road, review and report for $354. Motion to pay.
Yeah. So be it.
All right. We have a motion from Pat as second.
Pete seconded it.
Oh, Pete did? All right, I was not there. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none. That is granted as well. All right. Let's see. Moving on, any other business that the commission deems necessary for discussion?
If just when you guys are set, if you have no other business, I know that I got a text from Dave and he gives you all his well wishes.
Oh, good.
He did ask for an update, us to update you and tell you that he's doing okay. It's probably going to be at least another 4 to 6 weeks before he's back. So
Well,
All
I'm
right, good to
glad
hear.
he's doing well.
Yeah,
Very good.
Send our best.
Yeah, look forward to him coming back, and I'm glad he's doing well. All right, any other business? Look at the time, 8:13.
You're running these efficient meetings, John.
yeah, that's with a public hearing.
Yeah, it's easy when there's not much on the agenda. So
Wait till next meeting.
yeah, don't jinx us.
Well, I already know you got some stuff coming in, and we got 2 weeks between this one and next one. Not till October 6th. We won't be seeing each other. So
Eesh.
All right, so we can get ready for that one.
yeah.
All right. No other business then, so I am going to formally make a motion to adjourn by hitting disconnect. All right, everyone, be good.
Second.
Be
Good night.
safe. See you
Good
guys
night.
later.
Good night, all.
Take it easy.
Take care.
Who
Have a good
seconded
night,
that?
everybody.
Good
I
night.
did, Brett. Brett did.
All right. Thanks, Brett.
Okay, take care. Good night.
Good night.
Good night, Jess.
Good night.